Right, meow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new installment of Tidal Roll, the show where a bunch of oddball creatives sit around and play a lot of TTRPGs. I am your game master, your scribe, your dungeon master of Erebus, and I am merely here to welcome you guys into, now that I got the numbers down again, it's session 64, episode 65 of campaign 1.5, where unfortunately, because of some IRL obligations, Bolin will not be here for this session, but he sends his regards, and he was like, hey DM, I trust you with Volin's sheet. So we're all terrified about what will probably happen to this lovable, exalted Dragonborn.
Well then.
But last time, where Doll's new awakening of abilities have taken root and her physiology has changed in a very strange manner. Within this reconstruction of herself, new abilities have taken shape and form, but it seems like a selection of tattoos are keeping the worst at bay. Understanding that stuff is more dangerous and off-kilter, Belovac has decided to go off in search of some extra aid for the party, whether it be through the business or by talking with the other blood hunter factions that he is amassing relations with. He promises to come back with help as soon as he can. In the meantime, the party itself is trying to power through their mission to get all of the students to Old Oltos as safely as possible, to just get some more funds together, maybe make some more allies on their own front, and see if they can, in the meantime, figure out what to do with the debacle involving the voice of the child and everything that's happened in the last couple of days. While even understanding that in their absence, some more hectic matters have occurred that have led into more darker outcomes. Upon getting all of the students to Old Oldhos in full-blown fervor, everything seemed as if it was going to end on a very positive note, but their now former client of Professor Arcadia asked for one simple favor: to see if the party could dispatch of the giant megalodon southbound from the very kingdom that they are residing in at the moment. Understanding that this is something for their benefit because of various side stories for Volin's new arm and Ametista discovering a brand new substance that's latched onto her left arm itself, it's good benefits all around for everyone. And at the same time, going to the location where the Megalodon resides led to Dee's gaining an item, whether she's going to keep it or not is up to her, that showed to her history that has never really been seen or understood before. Maybe in time she'll share with the others, maybe not. But from here, during a small jousting of words between the draconic bloods of Dahl and Volin, the two have their own bickering that leads to Volan taking to the air, but in doing so, caused the winds to pick up and spiral around the wingspan and summoned a giant megalodon larger than any in recorded history, with blue, slippery skin, multiple rows of teeth, and nearly ate the scholar whole. It's from here, guys. If you all had a maximum party of at least 5, I would have given you the option for standard or fast action. But because there's only 4 of you, I can only have you guys do fast action, because this is an opponent that's not only a legendary creature, but it's in the double digits level-wise. So I'm not going to have you guys subject to having only yourselves right now under all of this going against this creature. That is not fair in anyone's regard. But does that sound fair to all of you?
Yeah.
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 Wonderful, wonderful. Where, going by the rule set by natural speed, the Megalodon's actually going to go first to use a legendary prompt. But I need to know who would be standing next to Volan at this very moment. Can you do a finesse saving throw for me?
Sure. Let me get my dice. I always gotta ask, is it, since I'm always testing new things for you, is this a standard one or one that would have a proficiency in it?
It's just the saving throw. If you have proficiency with finesse, you use your proficiency to do with advantage.
I wouldn't know exactly, because again, we have the new sheet and everything. And
This
we never
is
went
fair,
over.
and with Hemo Blades, it's different. Luckily, I have the notes right here that I can send to you in just a moment, where you would have a proficiency with finesse.
That's why I was asking, because there was a lot going on that day when we were making the sheet. The highest I would have gone would be a 14.
Were you using the D20 instead of the D100?
Oh, true, I forgot we're doing fast. My bad.
Like, my man was like, well, 14, do the job. Jaws music in the background.
Trying to find some D10s. Oh, these are there. Thank you. So, using physical dice, I got a 12. So hit me with what you're gonna hit me with.
1 second.
Wait, I forgot. This was with advantage, my bad. 52. My bad. Again, I'm still trying to get used to the whole...
52.
I'm still trying to get used
Calm down, calm down.
Well...
Sorry, someone needed an explanation for something. So, with a 52, you just barely succeed because you needed 51 to avoid this. As Volan outright fails this legendary prompt where, as you're ducking out of the way, Doll, the last sight you see is Volan trying to take out the Pisani whip to shoot himself out of the way with a fire bolt. But he ends up getting the whip ensnared by one of the Fangs, and the last you see of him is being devoured by the gargantuan megalodon that also tears through the earth before submerging again into the lake itself.
Oh. He's dead.
Is he, though?
No, but that's what Doll's thinking. Just an immediate panic.
No, that's just me being the intrusive thoughts in Doll's head. Is he, though?
A voice of reason in Doll's head? Never thought that would exist.
So, from all of you guys right now, who has the fastest natural speed?
I got 40.
30.
I'm already getting Umi's sheet up because Snow is in the middle of something. And, okay, Umi's is 30. Doll?
40.
Now it's just a matter of who wants to go first between Amatista and Doll.
I mean, Wolf and I already discussed what we're doing for the plan, so either one would work, I believe.
Yeah. Would you mind if I try something, Laurel?
Go right ahead.
Cool. DM, I'm doing the thing.
You're doing the thing?
Yes, because I think base instincts with her new stuff, and the traumatic event of having probably one of her best friends on the team being eaten, would definitely trigger it through an emotional burst.
You want to describe it as it happens?
So, just mere seconds after seeing Volan just get dragged into the water, Doll, with a 1,000-yard stare, suddenly starts just growing heavily agitated, screaming to give him back, like that one Lethal Company meme, as she just suddenly just dives into the water as her body starts to grow and becomes enlarged, as suddenly erupting from her body as it transforms for what looks to be a meta shape or a wild shape or the new feral shape. Her body just continues to grow larger and larger and larger as, for those over on the surface, you see tendrils just emerge for just a minute of large tentacles before sinking down to the water as I want to drag this thing back up. As under the surface, it is not an octopus, a squid, or a kraken. These tendrils are attached to the shark head and upper body that Doll has for her cryptid. As I believe this is a very large creature, or
technically it is considered large. I accidentally spelled the cryptid's name wrong because I'm getting the image for everyone in the call here. This is considered large. It's not gargantuan. It's just large. But this is basically what Doll has turned into, guys.
Well then.
is called a luska. It's like a sharktopus.
So I want to try and drag this thing from at least back to the surface.
Okay.
If I can.
Roll a d100 to see if you can, but I will remind you guys, this is a legendary encounter, so don't expect this to be like every other fast action combat you'll have now and in the future. Legendaries are different for a reason.
Fair enough. Let me find our usual does. Would a mulligan this?
Okay.
I'll settle with the 45.
45.
Versus what?
You try to latch your tendrils onto it, but in doing so, you instantly feel your tendrils slip away as the beast itself just shrugs it off. And this is a ginormous fucking beast. Like, even the lake itself is comparable to the size of one of our oceans when you're diving into it. The Megalodon takes up a good 1/5 of the space.
Fair enough. Will this backfire on me? Only time will tell.
So, I will ask, because I'm still trying to fine-tune things with everyone here. We're all still trying to make this game perfect, so we're going to do trial and error. Do you want to do a follow-up action? Or follow-up prompt, I should say, for fast action?
I would like to do an environmental attack using my Crimson Right.
Okay.
Crimson Right of the Storm.
Okay.
It might backlash at me, but again, Doll is going based off Bloodluster.
Understandable.
I'm using my last mulligan because I don't like this number.
Oh no. You know it's bad when it starts up with like, I want to use 2 mulligans right now, sir, my first round.
It would have been a 2, but now it is a 41.
41. Okay, so you're knocking around the integrity of some of the land attachments that are just keeping some of the ground above to just have debris fall. But you don't see it affecting the Megalodon at the moment. You're seeing cracks in certain foundations, but nothing that you can tell will affect everyone topside.
That's at least good for them. Alright.
Yeah. So now we go to Ametista.
Can I do something first before I roll?
Go for it.
I would like to channel Maelstrom Rage.
Okay, using your Spirit of Ishtar to get Maelstrom out. Cool.
Is it Ephemerate? This one does electricity.
It does. As you get a cosmic warhammer in your hands, electric-like wings. I think I sent you the description of what the colors of your feathers are when you're in Maelstrom.
Okay, I think you have, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. Let me double check, because even I sometimes forget. Can you tell we've been doing this campaign for a long fucking time? Blue and white feathers.
Can I alter it now that my character also transformed?
You can.
Okay. So as the wings turn white and blue and white, with crackles of lightning as a pattern, her hair and head feathers turn purely white, leaving only a little bit of blue at the tips. Her skin darkens from her this natural like tan, as it seems like her eyes are fully glowing. She spins the war hammer in her hand. You just hear boom clap as thunder and lightning appear.
Give it up for the Thunder Queen, everyone. So, what are we doing?
I would like to Okay. How far deep underwater is it?
From where you guys are standing, it is like a good couple of fathoms below water. Like, you're able to see Doll's cryptid form. She's roughly halfway between where just the lower half of the Megalodon is and where you guys are on the surface. Like, if you were to call to Doll to make sure she gets out of the way, it won't be a problem, but it is deep underwater if you're looking to do some damage.
First off, Doll... Fluff, is Doll, have any resistance to lightning?
She does not. I wish she did. But if you have to do your thing, you have my permission.
Are you sure? Because I can have Amatista yell out before I roll.
I mean, all Fluff has to do is beat the, actually do a save to avoid it and be fine.
Again, I leave the judgment up to you. You are a captain, and Doll trusts you with her very life.
Okay. I'm going to at least give her a chance to get out of the way. So, Amatista yells in a thundery voice, Doll, get out of the way.
Not fully in bloodlust, she would react and just try and scuttle away Zoidberg style underwater for visual sake. but instead it's just tentacles just going up.
Because she knew, it's like, okay, this is a sign I'm gonna die if I don't be careful.
I died once, not again.
Okay, hold on. I gotta first clear that.
You want to get memes? Why not Zoidberg?
Does 70 succeed?
70 will not succeed, but I will state this. When the hammer connects with the water, it actually covers the entirety of where your side of the lake starts to where the mouth of the lake ends, to cover it in a bed of electricity. Like, if it submerges, it will take elemental damage, but it will not be hit by this damage directly. However, for you, Doll, if you resurface in this area, you will take damage yourself.
Understood. So you're saying don't resurface within this vicinity?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have...
You have a follow-up action if you want to use it.
Okay. Because what I'll do is I'll have her try again. I'm gonna mulligan that.
Okay.
$50, so nope.
Yeah. Alright, so now it's just a matter of who wants to go first between Doll and Umi.
You mean D's and Umi?
Yes.
Gotta have more characters with D names to
I hate this
to make
so
it more
much.
confusing.
I hate this so much.
And
You're
I thought
the
I
one
had
that's messing it up.
I can go if you want.
Okay.
So the water over by Amy is electrified, yes?
It is a giant blanket of static right now.
Now this could be a bad idea.
What are you doing?
But
Aw.
I could fly up to try and lure it back to the surface.
We're not gonna have a white whale situation, are we?
Are you sure, Anne?
Well, not when you say that.
I'm just trying to double check. Are you sure? Because you can go over all of the stuff in your inventory as well as what you have as techniques and spells, but I want to make sure that you are sure that you want to do this. The moment the DM is like, can you just double check everything before you hand in your assignment? I'm just reading Strider's talk in the chat.
Oh no.
Hi, Strider.
You saw what happened to me, what can go wrong?
Like, I'm just seeing him in the chat on Twitch, and I'm just like, this is just amazing. Oh, fuck.
I mean, we don't know if you're dead yet. You could still be alive in the belly of the...
Could be a Pinocchio situation, who knows?
Are you saying he also is turning into a donkey?
No. No. Well, no.
I was gonna say, there's how many stories about someone surviving in the belly of a whale?
There's Jonah and the whale from the Bible.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think if I have anything that would be able to hit something underwater.
Do you have...
Do you have any kind of...
Oh, go ahead. You guys are a team. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if anyone has ideas.
Do you have any kind of elemental-based smites? You have your gun. If you want to try and shoot it with whatever powerful spell that... If you have that. You could try and be bait, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Highly unrecommended.
Highly unrecommended, yes.
Last-
I do have my gun and, Himmerose Smite? I think is... yeah.
Oh yeah, your Jimenos smite.
Jimenos. Okay.
What element does Jimenos provide? If it has any element.
Nether / necrotic.
That could actually work if it reaches
So
down
that-
far enough.
Yeah. What is the range on my gun? Can I?
Well, this is fast action, and
Oh wait, yeah, this is fast action. So.
What are you thinking? Something's cooking in there.
okay, Strider.
Something's cooking in there. It's the fish in the whale's belly.
Strider will be back with more commentary if he gets the time to, because he's at work at the moment.
That's fair. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try shooting at it, I guess.
Get your 2d10s or your d100 ready.
Alright. I'm gonna mulligan that.
Oh god.
This is a legendary fight.
That's 4 mulligans in a row, and this is the first round.
Yeah.
Alright. It's, 40.
40. You fire, and you miss.
Fire, and I miss.
If you want to use a follow-up, you can.
I'll use the follow-up to try again. That's even worse.
You missed both times.
I missed both times. You gotta keep the meme going.
Which now leads us to Umi. Where we will wait to see what Snow will type up because they cannot verbally talk at this time. It's okay, Snow. If you want, you can trust Fluff with your sheet and stuff if you want. All I gotta say is kittens is the situation. Kittens is the situation. I'm passing on Snow's sheet to you, Fluff, to do as you see fit for this right now.
Oh boy. More sheets for me to have.
It's just for today.
That's fine. Just trying to read. I'm just trying to read over everything real quick.
I mean, the only thing I remember is that Snow usually likes to have Umi use weaponized shape water to give her fan blades an extra oomph for damage.
I'm just trying to like read over the sheet what she has in general. A lot of different spells.
I know for everyone that's never seen a tabletop game before, it's just like, oh, this is so boring, they're just looking at paper. It's called thinking, bruh.
This is a strategy-based game, y'all.
I know this isn't Stranger Things with a bunch of 80s metal.
You leave Eddie alone.
I'm not making fun of Eddie, I'm just saying people are like, oh, so D&D's like Stranger Things, metal music all the time, and there's action in all sorts of directions. No. And if everyone thinks I'm joking, no, literally, it's been statistically shown people that join into a fucking Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, it's because they think it's gonna be like in Stranger Things with Mike and the boys. It is so dumb.
Again, I understand Snow has things that she hasn't revealed with Umi, which again I want her to do herself. That's why I'm trying to like figure out certain things right now.
Mm-hmm.
To be respectful of her doing her own thing.
Right.
Because it was like, if this was me, I would probably dive into whatever. But again, Snow's character, Snow's art.
I mean, I didn't even put all of the secret things me and Snow have talked about on this sheet.
Which is fair. And again, I'm also using my knowledge from what Umi most likely wouldn't learn, since I've learned that Umi herself is a knowledgeable person and likes to learn. So again, trying to use arcane magic in here has backlash.
You have that list of shaman spells I sent you?
Yes, actually, I have that right up in front of me. No, that's un momento. I believe I have it. Again, I have so many things done.
I do not apologize about giving you guys all of the things.
Oh no, I'm happy about it.
I'm saying that for the audience at home.
This is on me for not working. I'm pretty sure I had it at some point. I know it's up in this chat. Give me 1 second to search for it.
I can just resend it to you right now.
Like, I have like
you guys gotta remember, I'm not giving you guys a nightmare experience of those DMs that hate their players. If you need stuff resent or resaid, just ask. I'm here to help you.
Please.
Oh, okay, so that is it. No, that's the Arcanist section, and I'm saving that for later. Do-do-do-do! And, scream! There you go.
Thank you. Give me 1 second to look at what we would have from just druid level spells. Like up to. Because Umi's still a druid at the kind of, right?
Druid, shaman, Me and Snow haven't had time to decide if she transferred over or not.
Understood. Look at me. Stuff.
I know she would be using Sakura Wall like crazy, because that is Snow's aesthetic like no one's fucking business.
But that's not gonna help right now.
Then I'm gonna have Umi do what I was gonna be planning for Doll, since again it goes upcasting Wiolance to an environmental effect.
You're casting Cryolance at a 3rd level?
4th level for an environmental effect.
4th. Oh shit.
Because I imagine Umi would have saw one of her teachers / teammates get eaten. I would imagine she, again, doesn't know them all too well, but she was protected that one time, so I'm playing off of that.
Sounds about right. That is Umi from what me and Snow have discussed.
So, knowing Umi being a kind of finesse battle-like mage, shaman, hermit, again, imbuing the elements to their attack,
Yeah.
I would imagine Umi would try and send the lance to be a kind of ticking time bomb as far as it can go towards the deepest parts to freeze and probably uplift like that one time I did with Umi and the ship.
Okay.
To try to create like a jagged spiked terrain of ice underneath to make this legendary creature be forced further up to the surface, if not near the electrical static above that Amatista mage. And still got to roll 100, right?
Yeah.
60.
66?
Yes.
Okay. Describe the environmental stuff.
Sorry about that. I had no idea what just happened with my Discord.
It's fine. Technical difficulties follow these sessions like a plague. It's fine.
Yeah, but... Yeah, so what happened?
I'll explain the... Oh, I thought you meant something... Okay, all I said was describe the environmental damage itself.
For the environmental damage, again, it would be just coming from Umi. What starts as a small jagged lance, probably coming from the tips of her fans. She uses to direct going through the ice, creating a small cylindrical, like just moat that slowly grows into a cascade of ice until it hits probably towards whatever section Umi was aiming for, before just starting to freeze the area. And at first, it was just a small wall before cascading into intense, basically nail bed of jagged ice, just rising suddenly, freezing as much of the section as she could to, again, divert it further to the surface.
Okay. Do you want to use a follow-up action?
I guess Umi would probably try and use a downcasted version of a water-based thing, if not an ice, and try and jag it out even more with one of her fans.
Well, I know from how we've seen Umi before, it's usually her using elemental infusion by having the water tips on the fans, if that helps.
Sure.
So if you're gonna do that, still a D100 to see... Wait, are you attacking or trying to do, like, something... Like, I'm trying to get a baseline in my brain.
I guess the term would be not thug it out. So
Oh.
remembering our Mega Man event from yesterday.
You're fine. I'm just like, I gotta make sure I got it locked in my brain. Like my dome got it locked in.
Following the environmental thing, it would be a slug it out,
Okay.
and that's a 72.
72.
Mhm.
Well, all I'm gonna say is the static and the ice are merging together nicely, but it does not hit this thing. Now, it's the Megalodon's go. First thing it's going to do is a new legendary prompt, and it will be targeting you, doll, because you're still in the water with it. Where I gotta roll this with advantage. Okay. Somehow it's worse when if it's large it fails, if it's a small number it succeeds. How the fuck am I supposed to explain this when we're doing the finalization talks about these kind of shits? So I need you to do either a constitution or a finesse save right now.
Okay. I'm going to do a finesse save, since at the very least I have the possibility of living through it. And again, D100s.
Mm-hmm.
74.
74. You're only off by 1 to have succeeded this.
Okay.
So just barreling through to actually use its fins to touch the top of the water to actually convert the electricity up top to now just have its own skin become like a spinning torpedo, launches itself to sink its various rows of teeth into your flesh, and then jettison you to slam against one of the sea walls.
Mm-hmm.
For a follow-up, though, it's just going to be normal. It's going to do some environmental destruction. Okay. So, it's targeting to slam its head against the seawall that will roughly rattle the ground underneath Umi and Deez's feet, specifically. As we now go into the regular order that we've established in the action tracker. So, Doll, you have just been bitten by a row of roughly a dozen teeth. What do you want to do?
Slug it out with a cryo lance.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me double check my book. Because I did want to ask you about certain other spells.
Mm-hmm.
Inside. Prior March, and what do those do? Since I didn't have those available at the current moment.
Hold on, you guys know I'm partially deaf in one ear, so I'm just gonna look up what you asked for.
My 2 shaman clasps.
Oh, for Primarch and Pluton. Primarch is technically where it's... So for D&D nerds, it's fusing Expeditious Retreat with Flame Strike, but at a lower level. Basically, you're turning yourself into a living cannonball where you're consuming yourself in Greek flame. Like, it's a greenish black fire that's in most Greek mythology. It's supposed to burn through anything because it's from the underworld. And it's supposed to also inflict a certain status effect that actually burns from the inside if you do it right. Pluton is just a giant nether beam that you can shoot out that can actually cause deterioration, which could literally make the flesh of someone literally evaporate into nothingness, just leaving bone and nothing more.
That might be dangerous with falling inside the stomach.
Yeah.
True. Almost forgot about that. Thank you. So I was going to try and attack it, like, towards the inside. I completely forgot about Volan. Yeah, with the Volan being captive, that takes a lot of actions I was going to do because of the damage type I could do.
I gave y'all a doozy of a puzzle. How do you destroy something without killing your friend?
You said it bit me, right?
It bit you with about a dozen rows of teeth.
Is its mouth still open?
Nope.
Can I
Is
force
it
it?
the latched on doll?
Nope.
Is it still left?
Remember, it bit you and threw you into a sea wall.
If can I force it to eat me?
You want it to eat. Hold on. What?
I know. If I can't hurt it from the outside, you see where I'm getting at?
I'm seeing, but I'm like,
Are you trying to do what everyone wanted Ant-Man to do, but on a megalodon?
Don't have many other options I can think of right now.
I was thinking of Vegito versus Boo. You want to pull a Vegito right now?
I mean, we have a captive inside. So basically, yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'm trying to juggle 2 characters, and my roles have been kind of.
Okay.
So I'm pulling a Pinocchio where I'm trying to get Geppetto out.
Okay. Let's see if you can do this. Let's see if you can do this with a D100. Because now I'm curious. You got me curious now if you can do this.
Oh, let me re-roll that because I still have the double dice on. Apologies.
Oh.
48.
48. You just shoot towards it as fast as you can, swimming as fast as you can, and then just use your tendrils to rip its mouth open, but you're not strong enough to lift open the jaw as it's training its eyes on you. It's provoked. Do you want to do a follow-up action to see if you can provoke it more, or succeed at this time?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
I would recommend doing the follow-up action. Mainly because I want to see what happens.
I want to see what you got us both like. How does Skull work?
Look at my stuff real quick again.
This really is a Final Fantasy 16 boss fight.
Except I can't spam a button to win. The wrong sheet I'm trying to look at. No.
It is a lot to consider. I understand, Fluff.
It is just a lot, especially since I'm again not used to Doll being in this state. I was just accumulating to her previous form, and I have like 5 to 10 tabs open right now, with just different possible resources.
I mean, that's a normal thing for any TTRPG. I remember trying to learn Pathfinder. I had 12 tabs open for my first ever session in Pathfinder.
Were you DMing it or?
Oh, I was a player, because Pathfinder is interesting if you remember 4th edition, like I do, but it's less of a nightmare when you're doing 2nd edition, which is basically just D&D 5e, but with more math and weirder racial options. And also, like, this whole thing, like, a mythic path, an aeon path, a divine path, a demon path. You're like, okay, what are we doing? What do you mean? Like, this is too much. What you thinking, Fluff? Consult with your table. You got your teammates here for a reason.
That is true. Again, I'm basically scrambling right now to look between my new spells I have for being a Hemoblade Cryptid and my new Shaman stuff. Again, I got a lot of new stuff in front of me that I'm not sure what to even... Which is not a bad thing. I just didn't expect to get this far. That's not even a joke this time.
Look, man, I thought Doll was gonna die by this point. I don't want to fucking hear it.
I mean, you technically won the bet. I want to hold off in case someone wants to do a team attack of some kind.
Okay, so you're gonna hold off.
I'm gonna hold off my secondary action, yeah.
Okay. As we now go to Ametista.
I would like to try to do electric slam on the ice water.
Okay. Doing some more environmental damage. I like it. Roll that D100.
Why are you speaking like that?
Because I'm getting invested now. I'm getting invested.
Okay, 70.
70. I will say, because of Doll provoking it. One thing, are you flying at the moment? You specifically, Ametista.
I would say no.
Okay, good to know. So, slamming down with the provocation from Doll, it's gonna be distracted enough to be nearby, where 70 is close enough to start doing some chip damage. It's not a lot, but it's a start.
Okay. I don't know what to do.
It is a head scratcher. I will admit this. It is a head scratcher.
Hmm. It's already provoked. We just really need to bring it to the surface, right?
Basically.
Fuck it. Amethyst is gonna bolt into the sky.
Okay.
And would you say she can charge her energy?
At level
like
8,
the
yeah.
electricity? Okay. She's going to charge it and try doing like a massive lightning strike on the ice.
Okay.
Hopefully causing more environmental damage and hopefully provoke it to go to the surface.
Okay. Let's see what that D100 looking like.
Mulligan.
I was just getting a good stretch in, all of a sudden, mulligan.
Hold on. I think my dice are right now cursed.
Fucking Will Wheaton.
Yeah, no, I'm getting nothing but bad rolls right now. I don't even remember.
What's the D100 say?
I guess I once I switched out my dice to actually behave, 88.
88.
Could I add on to this since I was holding my action in case someone was going to do something?
You can.
Can I draw its attention to follow me up towards the surface?
You don't have to. There's a reason why I was asking about Amethyst specifically. But you can do something else if you want.
I will hold off in case Deez wants to do something.
Okay. So, from the 88 pounding down, I will say, like, it is enraged, but it's looking specifically at you, Amethysta, where even underwater, just unable to see it from its murky shadow. Ooh, sorry, I had to belch. You have no idea the amount of hatred that this shark has specifically for you for some reason.
It has beef with me, apparently.
Apparently. Over to Deez. I'm assuming at this point, Anne, you were going over everything like, okay, what do I have? I have this weapon that can do this spell that can do that, this weapon that can do this, these spells that do that.
Yeah. but it's still in the water.
Gee, what a head scratcher for this paladin with an enemy in the water. You know, I got nothing. Like, that's a head scratcher for D's. Does anyone on your team want to help you?
And send me your sheet.
Yeah. Here.
And you have water swords.
I do have water swords.
Like, I know I'm a scrambled egg right now, but I at least know one thing. You have water swords.
Yes, but do I go swimming in the water with it to hit it with the water swords?
No, you can't you manipulate water with your swords from the very edge.
Hold on, can you repeat that?
Are you not able to manipulate water from various ranges using your various swords? And or you also have a spear of some kind, or a lance. That I don't remember what it does.
I'm sorry. It's just. Oh Lord, it's just always funny to me where it's just like I don't know. And I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, because I have the water swords, and I've got the staff.
Wait, and you got the thing I DM'd you from earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh my god.
You're now reading the thing, are you?
I mean, I skimmed over it previously.
With what he sends, you don't want to ever skim over it
True.
quickly.
It's true. I made that mistake so many times.
I mean, hence why I've been using Canute like crazy.
Always have chaotic players that are just like, I'm trying my best, DM, but it's so difficult. Okay, here are your glasses. What the— oh! Because it's not like you're bullying them, it's just like, it's funny when they're just like, it's so hard, DM, what can I do? Here are your glasses, sweetie.
It's also definitely a thing of I just need to reorganize all my notes.
That's a mood.
Like, get a giant Word document of all of your notes. That way it's just, you click that every Tuesday, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going...
Do you have a question, Anne?
No, I'm just rereading stuff to make sure I understand
Okay.
how it works.
For the thing I recently sent you?
Yes.
Okay, then the only thing I need you to answer honestly for yourself is, what do you think your relationship with those two are? Is it good or decent with both of them?
I think it's decent.
Then that's all you need.
Alrighty. Then I'd like to use Ryujin against the Earth.
Okay, so to set up things first for everyone that do not know what I'm talking about with Anne, firstly, she's taking out Blade of Torrent with the brand new sword that was hovering above the lake, where, because of her bond with the two deities of the seas, they turn into literal, like the swords that Leonardo has in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like those ninjatos? They're basically water ninja swords. And right now, Deez is about to attempt to unleash an ancient spell directly at the Megalodon. Where, to refresh everyone's memory, you all saw, well, unfortunately, Laurel was late, that was unable to be there for that session. You guys watched as an ancient spell. It's fine, it's fine. You guys watched an ancient spell from Gabriel get launched that could have leveled an entire third of the planet at the Summer Gala. Yeah, basically those swords, Anne. And you're trying to launch an ancient spell at... Okay. Ooh. Are you sure about this before we proceed? Because I want you to
Right.
just be like, do you understand what this means? Like, I'm not trying to stop you. I'm literally like, do you, like, understand what this means? Because this is going to be something for not just the Megalodon, but anything in that range.
No, I'm rethinking that.
Because keep in mind, also, it's all still in the water.
And yeah,
I'll
so
be-
no.
I'll be okay.
Roland's in the tummy.
Okay, he might not be okay.
Doll will be fine. Volan not
Owen.
so much.
Because because the Megalodon can only be a shield for so long.
Like, I'm just like, okay, like, I'm now feeling how Matt felt when Sam self-destructed FCG. Do you know what it is that you're going to do? Also, if you cast this now, you cannot use this spell for another year in-game.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's not a smart idea.
I would put that in
No.
your back pocket and also
Yeah.
make a mental note about, oh, I can only use this 1 year.
Yeah.
Because this is no, like, fucking rest, and you can use it against shit.
The year-long nap. To
Rip
use it
Van
again.
Winkle. Lot of strategy this session.
Well, we kind of did talk about it in DMs, so...
No, I'm not saying it like a bad thing. I'm just saying a lot of strategy this session.
Yeah, and I'm saying we were actually prepared. Normally you pull shit out of our ass.
Hey, legendary encounter. You need to, like, prepare and plan for this one.
I don't think we were planned for Volan getting Eden. Dead? Maybe. Eden? No.
I'll be right back. I gotta go use the restroom.
Okay. So what are we thinking, Anne? Like, talk it over with Fluff. Because Laurel got a BRB. Like, remember, guys, this is a team game. Y'all strategize together like a unit.
That is true.
That is true.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone stole my brain cell.
Pretty sure I'm missing mine too. Because I used the big brain on that ice thing and it did squat. Or at least, well, it looks like sweat. Okay, I have something I can think of, or at least a suggestion.
Go for it.
Since I'm both fortunately and unfortunately, because again, I'd rather have Snow here to play her character. Oh, we could try doing a triple team attack.
A triple team attack would be good.
We haven't done that since our last massive beast.
What are your ideas for a triple team attack?
Umi, I've seen once create a tidal wave, but again, that's an arcane-based spell. But if I look at what I have in my floating notes here. I'm just trying to think again. For me, I could probably pull something out when it comes to Doll, but again, I'm trying to get in the mindset of Snow here for Umi. Because unfortunately, this is the one character Snow has that I'm not too familiar with.
The most I can say is that with Umi, she tries to go, if it's a person, as passive as possible, because death to a humanoid is not something that she can stomach. But when we talked about stuff, it's not as if she's opposed to bringing down a violent animal, because she did that against a displacer beast that was a refugee from the now severed Feywilds.
Then
I keep tabs of what you guys do, like a good DM.
you do. You do. Again, looking at the spell rights Umi has, either that or we do another infusion attack with Umi and her fans.
It's her favorite.
Again, remind me where the Megalodon ended up when it came to after Ametista getting up in the air.
It hasn't moved yet. It is provoked and priming itself to move.
Because this is just me picking up on things. For some reason, it does not like things up in the air, as to why the whole anyone in the air might be in danger situation or something of specialty would occur. AKA why Volan unfortunately got picked off at the first place.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think on what I as doll, because I have aspects of an ethereal and psionic I can do. Welcome back. That I can end up doing to try and do for this team attack.
You also
Again,
have
I don't-
psionic spells as a cryptid.
Yeah. And again, I'm trying to look over everything. I would try using Toho Starve just to cause the water to boil up a bit.
Hi, Junie.
Again, I'm trying to think. Sorry if it's taking me a bit.
You're fine. The beauty of strategizing is amazing. But thanks for popping in, Junie. This is just my Tuesday game. As I'm also assuming Anne is just reading over her notes again.
Yeah.
You work on
Okay.
them Twitch stuff, Junie.
So this is a little bit of a wild idea I have.
Go for it.
For Doll, there is a cryptid psionic spell called Naponis Melody? Which basically I could basically have the creature try and focus on me to where I can have Doll try and pull away from Amatista's focus. Have Doll kind of just bait herself to try and get to the surface, making it easier for whatever you and Umi need to do. I put for as Volan would say, I'm playing bait. If I can get the spell to technically work, where you can unleash whatever you and Umi can do. It might be a backlash, but again, Umi could probably do an elemental thing with either her fans, or she can infuse an attack against one of her creatures with something other than water.
Yeah, because once it's near the surface, we should have an easier time hitting it with certain spells and abilities.
Yeah. Either that, or you and Umi try and focus on the water elemental abilities that you both have to try and drudge it out of the water, if possible, while I play bait. That might be an idea.
Junie, this is for you.
Okay, wait. I think I'm starting to come up with the proper.
I was gonna say it's focused on Amy right now.
It's focused on Amy.
Yes.
So maybe it will come to the surface next round, potentially.
Potentially.
But last time it went to the surface, it nearly ate Dahl and ate Volin.
Yeah, but we could lay lay damage into the water.
I'm
so
not
that
laughing at you guys, I'm laughing at Junie, just be like, ass!
By the way, I like to also point out, I think if I remember right, the water's still like the ice and water, ice and electricity is still going.
Yes.
Because I was gonna say I could. I do have the spell Ravenous Typhoon.
Yeah, you can use it once per day.
Then
Then if it comes up to the surface,
why don't we try a multi-frontal assault? I could try putting Toho Star up against it to create a boiling point of water while it's trying to focus on Ametista, creating a kind of already triple effects with the ice and the electricity. Umi can ready either her water or some kind of elemental spell. If not even water, a new element that I will let Beast decide, since again...
Junie, that's
Snow
so
just-
mean!
That,
What the fuck, Junie?
What did Junie say?
I hope a Tarask eats your players. What the fuck?
What did Tiny do? He just owns a baby Tarask.
What did
But
Ametista do to you?
It's because I opened up a can of soda and she's just like, you asshole! You're terrible!
so again, I know we just meant like 3 or 4 different plans, but a multi-elemental assault to probably create either evaporating or an explosion of water. Yes, we want Roland safe, but if we cannot get this thing hurt or weaken enough for him to pop out, if he hasn't already started heading towards the objective, basically, if we're trying to pull a Dungeon Meshi right now, because I started watching this show, I'm only a few episodes in, but we're trying to pull a Dungeon Meshi right now, and until we can get that thing open, you cannot save our Dragon Boy. Because this thing is just saying no to everything we do. For some reason.
And for some reason, it hates my character, other
Nope.
than it flying.
Thanks for the
No.
follow, Junie.
I don't think it hates you. I think it hates anything being in the air between what the Admiral said back in town, or the city, being watch the skies. Volin getting up in the air after I was messing with him, and you going up in the air, along with D's being warned to, do you want to go into the sky? It does not like the sky for some reason. Something in the air must relate to its lore or something that we're missing.
Thanks for the follow, Tan.
So, I'm willing to use my once a day till he'll start just to cause an explosion to try and force it to the surface. If we want Umi to go with whatever element that the DM wants to add to her fans to add to the combination.
Ice. I already picked it in my head, because snow has a motif I'm not breaking. Blueberries!
Okay. So, we go with a volatile attack of Toho Star. Ice on ice with electricity and your typhoon attack, which would be wind, right?
No, that's more electricity. But that's fine. because electricity's good.
So we have basically a concoction of roaming plasma.
I like it.
I think we finally came up with the plan.
I'm glad, guys.
So in the longest time, we're finally doing a team attack.
Cool. Do you have a name for this one? Hi, Candy. Man, we got 2 people that are the 3 players for the monthly campaign coming up this October in chat.
Yay!
I don't know why, something overcharged. Just something overcharged either the beginning, middle, or end is what I'm thinking.
What?
Because I think we're...
Call it the
What are you-
overcharged.
I was gonna say Sub-Zero overcharge or something.
Ooh, that's a pretty cool name.
Maybe Tundra overcharge? Either or.
Alright, so you guys are basically doing this whole big thing of Tohill Star to launch through Ravenous Typhoon with an elemental infusion. Who's leading this into a D100? Because someone has to be the kickoff point.
Should we use Umi because they still have their mulligan?
Sure.
Dice, no, I'm borrowing these dice. I don't think we need it. Because every time I play Umi, they have ridiculous luck. 94.
That's because Snow was born under a lucky star, and I can say that.
So 94 for the general attack. Or do we need follow-up dice?
No need. Continue.
What?
Was that all to the play, or
Did what you mean?
like you guys launched the combo attack, which is great, but was there more for a follow up from Deez's end, or is that just it?
That is up
Uh,
to her.
I think that's it.
Okay, so using the I'm gonna go with Fluff's name of Tundra Overcharge. That sounds like a kick-ass rock album. I'm not gonna lie. It discharges and disperses. The Megalodon doesn't even flinch as it's just still readying itself to go after Ametista. But you at least were able to do something of substance against this bastard, basically, from what you guys can tell. Or maybe it's bullshitting you. You don't know. So, I would say Umi has a go with this, but unfortunately, I will have to say she can't do anything at this moment. But that's for a thing I gotta talk to Snow about in private, because this is a big hush-hush situation involving some secrets only Snow can know. But it is now the Megalodon's go, where Ametista, can you do a finesse saving throw for me?
Give me a second, because I had to close my tablet.
I mean, you already know. We talked about what the sheet is. Finesse is basically your dexterity.
Yeah, but I'm wanting to, like, keep looking at it so I can get used to it.
I get you. No problem. Also, Junie, why'd you flip all the tables? One of those is your table with candy. Now, what are you two and Biv gonna sit at?
10.
10. Oh no.
Yeah.
So, here's the situation, guys. The Megalodon, piercing through the electricity and the ice, showing slight bother to the static when going out of the surface, leaps up and takes a serious bite into Amy's legs, while its own body slams onto the ground with Amy in tow. Granted, Amy's legs are strong, but there are several teeth just jammed into them bitches right now.
It's gonna lose its teeth. Benjamin, off my tablet.
Damn it, Anne, you and these perfect fucking gifts. I wish I had the alerts on, because I know the exact thing Junie just redeemed, but I'm like, nope, not for these streams. I'm not having those sound alerts on.
I'm gonna say giggity. If that's the hint. Am I right?
Yeah.
Of course. I hate being right.
Like, I just saw it in the corner of my eye when I'm just trying to fix something. I'm like... Anyway, guys, it is now on the surface. Doll, what do you want to do? Because you're at the start of the action tracker for you guys.
I'll let you know as soon as I find my brainstone.
It's in the drawer.
Which one?
Top left.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really want to death beam this thing, but I don't want Volan dying.
Yo, Benjamin tried to play with something, and then he fell off my lap desk.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
When he gets back up, I'll show him off.
Okay.
Mm. Can I? You know, something I probably should have done at the start. Can I try and see what this thing might be weak to, maybe? Like, analyze it?
I mean, you can go for it. I've never
Yeah.
tried to stop you guys to do that.
61?
Hold on one sec. I gotta just test to see if something's working yet. Oh, there's a cooldown for that one. Let me test this one. Nope, this one is just broken. Alright.
Too bad.
Somehow it wouldn't be Twitch if things weren't broken when you are trying to see if they work anymore. Or maybe it's just this one stream. Either way. So what do you want to do, Fluff? Like, how do you want to roll this?
Again, this battle's only been happening for a short time, but this thing is irritating Doll, so she's trying to see if she can find any weak points on it, basically.
Baby! Alright, that would be either nature or I want to say either nature or deduction.
Okay. I rolled ahead of time. It was a 61. Unless we're doing like the D20 one for that one.
You could do either or for skill checks.
And I would add my modifier if I go for either one, right?
Yeah.
You said either nature or deduction?
Yeah.
That would be a 65 then.
65. Add 1 to whichever one that you were using.
Deduction.
Okay. So, the thing about this Megalodon, its coating makes it seem like it was bred to withstand high voltage for some reason. Like, the very skin feels like the very texture of its sky blue hue comes from an environment that's not really terra firma, with the scars in place being something that makes it very slash and piercing resistant, but the sheer cold itself still holds a lot of damage to where you can still see that the scar tissue is just emanating a lot of elongated frostbite, giving off that kind of decaying smell, like it's a dead fish swimming. But it keeps pushing
Dead girl
forward.
walking, it's a dead fish swimming.
Yeah. Like, you have no idea how this giant prehistoric fish is still alive, but
So it's basically a creature rotting away for this existence for so long.
yeah, pretty much. Where, for context, if you guys want to know how big this bitch is, from where the lake that you guys had stationed towards the walk back to the crown city of Koranos, the Megalodon stretches to almost touch the city gate after jumping out of the lake. It's a huge fucking shark. Because that's several miles long.
Well, with it popping out of the water, Doll with a more gruff and kind of rough voice, because shark, will basically relay that information that it's literally a rotting fish, and the various other aspects. As for follow-up, I'm really trying to think on this. Because that Death Ray is looking nice, but Volan's in there, and I like Volan.
You can talk it over with everybody. Remember, guys, this is a team effort where everyone has a say in what they do.
Honestly, I might consider downcasting the necrotic this ethereal damage spell instead of it being like a pure death beam, but I don't know.
Okay. You do remember that your tendrils are still coated in electricity, right?
Yeah, but if this thing's resistance to that, there's not really much of a point that I can see.
Which is fair. Which is fair. I'm gonna mark that as red because I just read that text.
Again, I ended up using a Crimson Right for that. Is there something other than Crimson Right that a Hemoboy can do? I know I briefly saw it.
Well, technically, they're called Scarlet Graces if you want to use those instead.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying to use a Scarlet Grace of Silana? Ciliana?
Silana.
The one that provides wind?
You can.
And just try and do a slug out for that?
Alright. Just coming out of the water, tendrils at the ready. I don't know how the party reacts to seeing a sharktopus come out of the water. I'm just assuming Doll is like, what the what? And Amy is like, get this fucking fish off me!
So the attack would be a 42?
Actually, you want to know what would be funnier, Vince?
Hit me.
More on the lines of laying there, just completely done with everything.
I've actually seen a YouTube video of someone doing that, just getting pulled by a horse. Like, what are your last words? No. Just fucking
no.
done.
Oh.
But with your slug it out trying to have the static just go into literal whirlwind surrounding your tendrils, as you didn't slice at yourself, your natural blood from the original bites actually just race across to replace the static with the wind. Go through, but on land still it is not a successful hit. With a 42. Sorry, buddy.
It's not your fault. I blame the dice and this shark.
Alright. Amy, you're up.
I'm gonna try punching its teeth. Gotta get my legs free, man.
Okay.
$92.
92 will free your legs.
Fuck yeah.
You still have a follow-up.
So, she's going to punch it in the snout next.
Okay.
Hey, it doesn't work with electricity. Fuck it.
You do know your unarmed attacks are filled with electricity,
Okay,
right?
69.
Would not hit, but that's funny. But you do remember your punches have electricity as an after effect, right?
Yeah, but mainly punching it will still fucking hurt.
It will. But even with that next hit to the snout, your fist just slides because it's still a shark. It's still slippery. Which now goes to D's on the action tracker.
Alrighty.
Gotta say, you guys are doing very well in your first legendary creature encounter.
I mean, you also gave us quite a bit of time beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start slashing at it with with my dual swords.
Okay.
mulligan that.
Oh, God.
Come on, dice.
And I believe that's
73.
your last mulligan, too.
Yeah, that was my last mulligan.
First attempt to slash at it does not go through, because is a dense bitch.
Well,
You still got a follow-up.
yeah, when in doubt, we try again. Nope, that's a 59.
Wait, Anne,
Yeah?
come with me to look at this.
Oh.
So, you say you're in decent standing with these two, right?
Yes?
Okay, so with their domain in place, wouldn't you have advantage against aquatic creatures?
I forgot about that. I forgot about the advantage.
I'm just gonna give you a hug and pat your head, and I'm just gonna give you a hug and pat your head. It's okay, you don't have the brain cell today, it's fine.
No.
We gotta tell Strider to stop stealing our brain cells.
You could have left that before
Every time
work.
he's gone, we lose it.
I'll figure out which one of my friends stole the brain cell today and go scold them because they know it's Tuesday.
Are you re-rolling for both of them, or just the follow-up?
Just the follow-up. And that's worse.
Just very dense flesh.
Just very that's fine.
Alright, now going into Umi's go, where Fluff, you don't have to do anything for this one, because I have to do something special on my own end for Umi before anything else.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the result for that, and I'm gonna use Snow's mulligan.
Our last one.
That is a 98 with the result thing for here. Okay, so here's a fun fact for you guys on this front, where I'm just gonna DM Snow the thing. For her notes for later, for everything else. You watch as Umi actually drops the fans as they hover beneath the palms of her hands themselves, spinning in such high frequency that the very moisture in the air accumulates around to make them go from fans into full-blown watery shurikens. Where this is going to be a brand new 4th level spell that she recently unlocked for herself, where as she tosses them through, the very watery shurikens themselves slice through the underbelly enough to make an incision point right by the stomach lining of the Megalodon before she catches both fans, and then just has to wave them off because they were generating some very powerful magics. What this spell is, you guys will read in the recap in the next few days. But it is now the Megalodon's go, where it's going to try to see if it can even move to get back to the lake.
Nope.
Okay, that is enough of a result to make it halfway to get at least the top half of its body close to the lake line. Now for the follow-up. It's got a fin and part of its head in there, but the lower half is still exposed. As we now go to Doll, where it's gonna get back to the lake next round if you guys don't do something here and now.
So... let me see how many spell slots I have left. Wait, I don't think I've cast a spell as Doll yet. I think it's been mainly through Umi.
You used your gifted spell for the day. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do a combined thing. Where I'm going to do Cryolamp and, Orchid, the Impulse, or the...
Ostara Pulse?
Yeah, I'm combining both that with an ethereal element with the Cryolance to do a combined effect on it.
Okay.
To have this thing decay faster to where I want to decay its back fin. Like, the entire tail, if I can.
Okay.
So, I'm
Roll
just
to
gonna
see
roll for
if
that.
you can.
Finally! 92.
92 will definitely start the decay process in a big way.
Yes. And now, again, I would consider that both my actions just begin because that is 2 spells in 1.
That is correct, sir.
Cool.
Although I'm surprised you didn't go for a 3-way combo technique.
I mean, if anyone wants to hop on this, I would not be objecting to.
Can I jump on it?
I mean, you are next in the queue, so...
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
I would like to try smashing it with a hammer.
Okay, do the thing that Yzma would not do to Cusco. I like it. I recently rewatched Emperor's New Groove, so...
Someone was doing a drawing of Cusco, so that's what I thought of it. The first roll was 15. And I used up all my mulligans, if I remember right.
You did. You would like to buy a vow? Okay, Junie, I vow to make our friendship one of the best friendships you could ever ask for.
Can I, do my follow-up action?
You can do your follow-up action.
Uh, 66.
66. This bitch durable. So now we go to D's.
When in doubt, we try to hit it again. And this time we remember things. Oh, well.
Thank you, Strider.
57.
57. Okay.
And then... gonna try to hit it again with the follow-up action. Come on, dice, please don't betray me. Oh, there we go. 88.
88 will actually do damage. I know you ain't sorry, Junie. So, from the nether damage on one front, and then D's just slicing through the tail section, It's still not enough to slow it down on its process, but it is Umi's go, where I have to now hand the torch back to you, Fluff, on what she can do, because Umi's burned through both her 4th level slots.
Why would you do this to me?
Listen, Linda. You asked to play horror games with me. I am a menace in horror because that's my jam. That's my jelly. That's my bread.
I'm just gonna give up. I'm trying to think right now. Give me one moment.
I mean, you could have Umi just hold an action.
Sure. That's
Like,
the most I could think
don't
of.
stress yourself out if you can't think of anything to do with Umi.
Yeah, because again, like, this is not your character, really, so it makes sense for you not to know what to do right away, anyway.
Yeah.
As I'm gonna see if it can fully dip itself into the lake at this point. That is a 99, where it is now 3/5 of the way back into the lake. One more to see if it can get the rest of it in. Nope, that is a 35. It is just what's remaining of its tail sticking out.
It's really having that hard time, man.
Yeah. So, doll. It is your go in the action tracker. Where I will state this at this point, because for anyone that wants to run a legendary encounter for Wavemaker, just doing a breaking my limit will not end combat right away, because most legendary encounters, this is not even like a top tier legendary encounter, by the way. This is set for parties that are at least level 8 or level 9 in general against a double digit encounter. So this is more of our lower tier ones for introductions for you guys at home and for us at the table. But one breaking my limit will not do anything. If you were to get your players to do anything in combination, that would be a better result. But just one breaking my limit will not help you, because that will actually set up your players for failure. So do not do anything that will put your table in jeopardy, and don't be those kind of DMs that just want your players to fail.
Because then you're going to lose them as players.
Damn it, Volan! Keep cooking fish! I don't care if you're running out of fish in there to eat. Find some more!
Why is he not cooking the fish from the inside?
Like, I just saw him in chat being like, I'm running out of fish to eat in this damn shark.
Eat the shark!
I'm just like Grandpa from Holes. That's too damn bad!
You know, for someone that's a pyrotechnic, I'm surprised you're not burning the thing that's entrapped you.
Yeah, you're literally in the stomach.
That's because there's
You're
a
in the belly.
thing where if the shark gets back in the water, Volan's gonna do a thing that I'm saving as a surprise, but that's only if you guys can't kill it here and now. Strider! But Fluff, what is the game plan here? Because you guys are all together in the action tracker right now. No one has gone yet. You guys can make a plan together as a team, or you guys can do solo actions from here. But you guys got to decide what you're going to do in this round.
I think a combo hit would be better.
Huh?
We should do a combo breaker. Like, obviously it's not like it's annoyed with the electricity, but it's clearly not going to do anything.
Yeah. And
Umi has started low-key doing the bleed out by cutting the stomach. We can have someone yank it back and another person put a final blow right through the stomach, hopefully getting Volin out.
I can try since I'm basically fish kraken. Unless you want to pull it out.
I have one arm and I'm holding a hammer. Well, wait a minute. I'm not, because I punched it.
Have you tried pulling a Zora with your beak? Wait, you don't have a beak anymore, never mind. Damn.
I can use my mouth.
That would be hilarious.
You've got teeth. It's practically sashimi.
You got talons.
I do, but I don't think I have really good movement in my legs right now.
No.
Fair. So I guess I'll be.
I mean, I can chomp at it.
No, I'll try and grapple it, or at least slow it down.
So, just so that I know, what is the game plan? Because I heard combo break, but not a yes or a no. Are you all breaking your limits together, or are you guys just doing stuff individually? I need to know.
I would be down to break our limits. I'm tired of this fish.
I'm down
Same here.
too.
I feel like we've been shooting at a bullet sponge this entire time.
It's a legendary encounter, my guy. I didn't want this to be just a pushover thing, because you guys are level 8s now. You guys gotta get actual challenges.
Oh, which is fair.
But if you guys are gonna do breaking your limits, you all have to roll D100s. I'll do it in steps like this. If you guys can get best 2 out of 3, the results will be what will happen next. I will roll for Umi, so you only have to roll for Doll, Fluff.
Okay.
But I got 31.
For the first one, what about the other 2?
And
78.
What about your other 2, Anne? Like I said, best 2 out of 3.
wait, we can roll more than once?
Yeah, best 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
65 and 95.
Okay.
99,
91 and 94.
Okay.
99 and 73.
Okay. So, since I've gotten 2 out of 3 for Umi, all I'm going to ask the 3 of you right now is, can you all set the scene?
Okay. Doll goes first.
Tidal, thinking Volan is on his way out, and infuriated by this fucking shark, goes shark mode herself, and uses one of her last bits of her second level spell to turn her into a fiery shark bullet, to then just kind of lay in just ethereal energy just to try and tear off this back fin.
Blood splurting up as it's actually recoiling to have the head rising from the pond. Who's up next for this?
Ametista decides to break the... Okay, is it fully out of the water now?
Its head is out of the water. Like, the back...
Okay.
The remainder of the back fin and its head are exposed.
Okay. Ametista, using her wings to pretty much pick herself up, swings her hammer with one hand, in full-blown, kind of like Thor, smashing upward in its jaws, so its teeth go through the top of its head, and knocking the jaw back, making it eat itself, pretty much.
So, I will reiterate for people that do not know how strong an 8 Knights Berserker is. Enough force from just a Maelstrom Berserker is enough to actually kind of cause an earthquake. So knocking its jaw off, in a sense, will also recoil it to have the rest of the body shooting upwards from coming out of the lake, just hovering a good few inches above the water. Who is next on the queue for this?
I think we're following the combat tracker order.
Okay, then Anne.
Keep in mind, you do have the cloak of levitation.
I do.
Your cloud cloak allows you to fly like the rest of them.
So even though Ametista knocks it back up in the air, you can fuck it up.
Also,
Yeah.
your water swords. Remind yourself
Yes.
the water swords.
Deez is gonna levitate up with the cloud cloak and just slashing at it with the water swords.
Okay. Then, as you guys are doing all this to even give it more openings for problems, Umi actually has it to where the bubbles in her skin start to rapidly boil super fast as she twists the lake itself to form into a bed of knives, each that seem to be less of the staticky ice you guys had as before, but of black ice that are now starting to protrude more and more with small whispers that seem to be from the dead. Like each of them also emanating small flickers of butterflies and moths that seem to make the spikes grow even more volatile and vicious, to where her just with her hand shaking, lifting up the spikes as it's falling, impales it to a sense to where nothing is left unskewered by this beast of prey. Where from the initial incision that she made, you guys see Volan falling out before catching himself just mere centimeters from slamming onto the black ice bed. As you guys have cleared out this legendary encounter. So Volan's covered in some of the excrement from the inside of the megalodon. He stinks of fish while just yelling out, "I was riding the entrails of this beast for 15 minutes!"
So Doll reels back her tentacle. It's back.
Gee, you're welcome, bitch.
Ow! I wasn't saying I'm ungrateful. I was just saying that being eaten wasn't on my plans for today.
Speaking of eating, Doll is eating this dying shark. As a shark.
As Umi just collapses because she's exhausted. But while this shark is being eaten, what do you guys want to do with it? Because it's a strange creature. It's an oddity, and it had something out for Amy enough to try and bite through her legs.
And it could take the materials for Gabriel. If we want to add it to any of our things.
Weren't we supposed to bring the shark back for some form of food for a village?
For the entire Crown City, technically.
Yeah, so, Doll, you might want to stop eating that.
She's eating the tail that she ripped off.
You can have the tail.
She would thumbs up, but she only get tentacle wave.
I can still thumbs up with a tentacle.
Doll... Never mind. As Volan just flies back to just check up on Umi.
Why the fuck did it hate me so much?
Do you want to inspect it?
Yeah.
Alright, do either a nature or history check.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
I had to look at what I'm doing first.
That's fine.
Because this is my first time doing it with this setup.
That's fine.
So it'd be 14 plus 3.
Alright, 17. Increase it by 1.
18.
I was saying, like, because you succeeded on it, it's fine.
Wait, what?
Increase the stat that you were using by 1.
Oh.
Any successful...
So now my history would be 4.
Yeah, like, every time you succeed on it, it increases by 1 the next time you use it.
Or if you fail, it'll go down by 1. Down to a maximum of 1.
So, from history, as you're just examining it to also feel out the very rough skin, 17 is what you need for this, because this reminds you of one of the Sky Islands. But not during the time that you know. You remember stories that your father would pass down about one of your ancestors of a Zircon Silver Crown himself when he actually allowed the outlaw gods to rip open parts of the planet itself to make the Sky Islands. They took certain creatures from the mother of seas and the mother of water, Marina herself, where certain creatures that were taken were then made into what you've grown up to know as the 12 Beast of Burden. This Megalodon fits the description of one of them, but it seems too young to be it. Roughly being a few hundred years too young to be one of the 12 Beasts of Burden. Night, Junie. Thanks for popping in. But how does knowing this make you feel, Amy?
Unease.
That's more than fair.
And I can't fucking edit my fucking being a bitch.
Strider can help you fix it when he gets some time free from work, because the sheet can sometimes be a bitch.
Well, I had it split viewed so I can actually read the sheet while I was working on a set of earrings.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get that. But what do you guys want to do from here?
feel my fucking legs.
Easy enough with the elixirs you have.
Besides eating most of the meat away, Doll's keeping whatever bit of the pelt she can, and she'll help drag this thing while Amy heals.
Okay.
Yeah, like Amy's being like, go on ahead without me. I need to chug a potion real quick. Or an elixir.
Volin upon just giving Umi a piggyback ride. Are you sure about that, Ametista? 'Cause I don't think we should just leave you. Mostly because I don't think people want to deal with me.
Is it vial of revitalization?
Yep.
Okay. So 4d10 plus 5. Okay.
Oh, right. Since the battle is over, Doll, you are roughly just 5 points below half.
Whenever she transforms back, she might take a nap.
Yeah.
But while she's still Sharktopus, she is dragging this as much as she can on land. Which is a hilarious sight.
23 plus 5.
Alright, 28.
Okay.
So you'd only be missing about 10 of your max health.
Alright, since I also did the potion
Yeah.
on top beforehand. Okay.
Like, you're just missing 10 in total since you used the elixir to heal yourself up.
Okay.
But, Deez, what are you doing at the same time?
I think I'm just gonna do my best to help move the body.
At this point, Amy catches up to them and just simply drags it one-handed.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, Laurel, do a muscle check with advantage.
I mean, how much more advantage do I get on it?
That is true. You have an inherent mastery with muscle, so.
Wait. When it comes to muscle, did we agree on putting that at a high number? Putting that at 10?
You're starting
or...
with 5 because it's brand new for Amy.
It's observation. I had to double check.
Yeah.
So, with muscle... Oh wait, it's +5. Yeah. That's... Come on. I am getting out my actual physical dice for this, so give me a second. My dice never fucking perfect. I know I have a D20 easy. I just won't be able to see the numbers right up very easily, but I can still use it.
It's fine.
$19 plus 5, that is 24.
Okay, that is a success. So next time you use muscle will be 6.
Okay.
So Amy's mostly dragging 75% of it, even with Doll being a Luska. Amy's still pulling it with way more strength than the giant sharktopus.
As things should be.
All while one-handed and still in Maelstrom fury for another few minutes. As Volan is just like, are we seriously just dragging it back? Why couldn't we just get them to drag it since we did all of the work? Hey! I didn't plan on being eaten, okay?
You could have burnt it. You could have made a char. But I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. Thanks for saving me.
Amatista starts cursing in her new native tongue.
Also, what am I?
I don't know, doll. I haven't had time to do research.
I just realized I'm not an Arca.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a shark thingy.
Is this one of your wild shapes gone wrong, or?
No, I went to go Orca to save you, and then this thing popped out.
Huh.
It might be because of the effects of your newer transformation.
I mean,
it's probably interfering of what you were trying to originally do.
Probably, but it doesn't feel like the same bloodlust I usually am afraid of when the blood hunter stuff feels different.
Like you were in more control different?
I'm talking in my normal voice, I think. And
Take it easy, doll. Take it easy. You're just a tentashark. That's all that we're gonna claim this as. because I've discovered this, and I've decided that right now. But just calm down.
I'll calm down in just a second. What do you mean you discovered this? I've discovered this. I'm it.
But I'm the one that discovered you as this, and by scholarly rules.
By scholarly
I will
rules, that
kick your ass, so shut the fuck up.
by scholarly rules, I think either one of the other people found out while you are being digested.
Honestly, I thought it was badass.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Half shark, half octopus. You know how much fucking damage you could actually do with that?
Yeah.
This was just tough because it's actually a Sky Island shark kind of thing.
And what now?
What?
My original home, like my where my biological family is from.
There's islands in the sky? How does that... What?
There's a lot of shit that happened with the Pandora.
The what?
It's
The time before us.
It's a giant thing that I could give you notes about this later, doll. Back to this whole Sky Island thing. I don't think that's scientifically possible.
There was no science. Clearly, I can tell you word from word what has happened in order to make it fucking possible, because obviously this was because of one of my ancestors decided to play fucking God. My family's, for example, cursed for it.
Okay. As Volundus takes out one of his journals to write down some notes with a cocked eyebrow.
Bowen, did you not see me turn into a giant owl monster?
I was busy!
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear from you, doll. You weren't even there.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
yet you're giving me lip, and of course no one's going to believe that the Sky Islands exist. For the sole purpose, the only way for it to be possible. And she actually goes on the fucking huge ass spiel of all the information she found out.
Volin's just writing this down profusely.
Because, you know, she's fucking ranting because this is fucking bullshit to her.
They'll find out soon enough, but I can't say anything more than that. So, after a while of just pulling and dragging this, everyone at the south gate sees you guys approaching to where it's now the talk of the entire Crown City. Everybody is coming out in droves to try and help you guys pull the remains of the Megalodon over the wall to then go into the Crown City, where there are numerous chefs coming out now to just dice the shit up and start distributing it to everyone in the Crown City as we speak. You get an estimate that it will take the entire Crown City roughly about 3 weeks to get everything distributed, because there's a lot of meat here to keep everyone fed for about 7 years.
Mhm.
And as Volin is about to speak up about where their portion is, one of the chefs exclusively states, before the Sovereign comes to give you guys thanks, here's a sack full of our most cured Megalodon meat. Then just hands it to Volin with his hand up like, well, thank you. I get to finally eat dinosaur.
Wanna eat what ate you? Finally. Everything makes sense for once.
Just squinting at Doll.
Still talking big ass shark. Before she just poofs back and she's like, oh.
So, Matista, what are we gonna be doing? Because I'm glad I finally got my dinosaur meat, but what are we doing?
I mean, we could wait. I don't know. I'm fucking tired. I got my legs bitten into.
They seem to be
I think I
healing
saw
back
the tooth.
nicely.
I think I got a tooth stuck in one of the wounds that is slowly closing up.
Doll just kind of reaches in, a little bit greedy, looks up to you. Can I try grabbing it?
Sure.
Doll carefully just tries to yoink it out.
What you yank out is just the tip of one of the teeth, because if there was the full tooth there, it would be a massive thing sticking out of Amy's leg.
Fair.
Not a full tooth, but hey, it was still annoying to be in.
I'm just gonna add this with the tail pelt. There's a lot of tail pelt.
Tail pelt? What are you gonna do with that, Doll?
Ooh, you guys are
I mean,
talking.
Doll can easily have it turn into some dope ass electric repellent kind of armor.
It's fair. Wait, what?
Yeah. You didn't know you can do that?
I didn't know it was electricity proof?
Oh, you were inside it, so you didn't know. I found that out.
Yeah, no,
fair.
It literally briefly touched the electricity and still went after Doll.
So we didn't use Umi as bait, is what I'm hearing.
No,
I was
No.
wait.
Yeah.
It was
Also, I did.
after me.
Ah, I see. But we couldn't have used, like, Doll or Umi as bait, though.
I almost was trying to rip its mouth open to get you.
Amatista literally just stares blankly at Volan and then heavily throws a fist into his arm.
Ow!
Hope that bruises.
I'm just saying! They're tougher than they look. They're both druids!
I don't think I'm a
Yeah.
druid anymore.
I guess we'll just look into that later.
I don't think I'm a blood hunter either.
I mean, again, that would explain the transformation.
I think my transformation had more transformation.
Yeah.
My fucking flesh arm. And as Volan is about to just make sure that Umi is with her arms wrapped around, tied around his neck, he then just pats down to then pull out the Pisani whip to see that only the handle and about 1/8 of the whip itself remains from what happened when he got bitten. Well, eaten, bitten.
Ooh, that's rough, buddy.
Your whip got whipped.
Gabriel won't be mad about this, right? This wasn't my fault.
You might want to emphasize at what about everything.
Wait! It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was his. Oh.
Now you remember?
I sense danger in your future.
His mom isn't gonna be mad that the gift that she gave me broke because of a dinosaur shark, right?
That's about a 50-50, because again, she has a good. She could easily have a good reason.
I mean, she was alive when these were like new creatures for her. It's fine.
Just know I'm not going to bail you out.
All right. Oh yeah, D's. I see you're carrying a new sword. Where'd that one come from?
Oh, I found it floating in the middle of the lake.
Oh yeah, you did do that.
So that was right before you got eaten.
So what's the story with this one?
So this one apparently used to be, where's my notes? This sword was from,
Umakos?
This is one of Umakos' swords.
What? Another one?
Another one.
I'm starting to think you're just attached to these random gods.
There is no such thing as random.
Maybe.
Things happen for a reason. Like you being eaten by a shark.
I'm gonna remember this, doll. I hope you know this. I'm gonna remember this.
I got a question. What else was in its stomach?
Well, when I was racing down its intestines, I saw a few random things. There were some weird stones, a few what looked like bird skeletons on the inside.
Uh-huh.
And I think there was some random writing on the inside. I couldn't make out...
Somebody lived in it?
I wouldn't say lived in it, but it definitely had, like, writing I didn't understand. Like, it seemed old.
Did you so happen to write it down?
I didn't trust if my journals would burn in the acid.
But do you remember it?
He actually takes out a pen, but he clicks it so it doesn't have, like, the pen itself come out. And then he just writes about, I'd say, 2 paragraphs worth from a photographic memory, where for you, Amy, you're able to see that this is the language of the winds, as well as the language of storms. Like, it's written in combination of what storm giants know and what the birds of wind have spoken, where only Amy's able to understand this, where the full-blown paragraph is talking about a series of experiments for the children of the 12th beast, which is supposed to be the Megalodon of Malice. This was a litter of about 37 megalodons where, from what you can tell from these paragraphs, this was the runt of the litter. This was the smallest one.
Oh my fucking god. Well, I understand this perfectly.
You do?
Yeah, no.
Same.
This is the runt of its litter, for one.
This
That
is the
was
runt?
the thing. But like,
And, it's written in my people's it's written from the people of the winds language, and that's what I can speak. That's my native tongue.
how did it get from the sky to underground?
Amy explains what the paragraphs said word for word, and just goes, so pretty much it was an experiment they probably brought down, or it broke out in, if that, and for all we know, landed here.
Volan is just writing down all of these notes into a separate journal of unexplained mysteries.
But now, do you believe me about the Sky Islands?
I wasn't saying I didn't believe you per se, just that there was no proof before.
Dahl just does the
Winks
presenting pose.
loudly.
Dahl just does the presenting pose of just ta-da for the captain.
Yes,
There's your proof.
yes, I can see Ametista very well, doll, but bird people are everywhere on the planet.
Well, no shit. You know, eventually, most of the people that were from those Sky Islands probably ran away from because of the civilization they were in.
But you
I was
also,
a few decades behind. I was centuries behind of what knowing around here knows.
Hey,
even.
hey, I'm not trying to cause any problems, Ametista. I'm just saying this as someone from the scholarly community. There's not a lot to go on for what you're saying. From everything, we just think that the Sky Islands are a myth because there haven't been a lot of sightings or proof.
Yeah, no. If you met me probably when I was a hatchling, I was not speaking common. My adoptive family taught me that.
Noted.
But if you want to learn the language, I'd be willing to help you.
I will take you up on that. But I gotta read a lot of books, because not reading up on things has led us into a lot of traps and has screwed us over.
Yeah, I would recommend, though, double check facts with me, because like I still remember a good majority of the history from the Sky Islands.
Absolutely. We will workshop that.
Maybe we can make a book.
You just see his eyes light up with excitement,
Do you make it a picture book?
and then the light goes out again.
How about we have some photos just for like documentation reasons? Like how some of the islands look like. I actually remember what mine looks like from when I was a kid.
We could
Ooh.
definitely do something with that. But that's for later. We have to figure out what we're doing now, because I don't think we can
We
still
should at
be
least
here.
let them know in case there's another megalodon somewhere down here that it might also be resistant to lightning.
That's fair.
Along with stabbing and anything sharp, really.
Yeah.
We had to use elemental magic in order to defeat it.
Though I will
And brute
say,
force.
it looked like it should not have been alive for this long. It literally looks like it was super old and dying like that.
Like I said, it was the runt of its litter, and it was very long ago.
But it still remembered you, or your people.
probably remembers that I'm one of the species that tortured it.
So does that mean there was more of what you are now back then?
That-
Again, owlins were around for a long time, are around still, but some of them are probably changing.
But you're not really an owlin from the obvious Ametista.
No beak.
I guess not.
Maybe your transformation goes back farther?
I mean, the curse transformation does go back a very long ways. Maybe it's tied to that. Maybe not.
Maybe your new form is what you people were before?
I mean, I did manage to tame the beast within me. So therefore, probably my biological family was never really owlin. But it was one of the ancient gods that if I remember right, is no longer talked about anymore. I think the god is even dead. I don't remember.
Maybe one of Scholar's books could tell us that we found.
I can look through them.
It's gonna be a long few days of reading these, but we'll find something.
Also, we can make a book about this new stone too.
Yeah, we can do a whole lot of the research papers, and just getting these published enough would be incredible.
Oh,
And
right.
we had the professor helping us with some of the research of this crystal, so we could easily get it done faster even.
Oh, here's something.
Way before the Sky Island stuff, even. Yes.
Speaking. Oh, sorry, Captain.
Yeah?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
Oh?
What is it, doll?
She just kind of pulls out the last oracle she has. I was going to give this to you, so that way you can research things.
Volan just grabs it with his new prosthetic arm, where, since it's an inorganic limb grabbing this, it doesn't have an effect when the cerulean arm grabs onto it. It just appears like a glove.
Oh, not sparkly and reacting.
I don't trust it, but I'll do some digging. And then just puts it in one of his pockets before just awaiting to see what Amy wants to do with the remainder of your guys' time here, because I don't think you guys have anything else to do on this side of the ziggurat, because I just don't think there's much you guys can do in a quote-unquote life side within the ziggurat.
I mean, we
I
could always go to where the tiny village was with the blind man.
Right, but that's on the other side of the ziggurat, in the what is basically the real world for you guys. This is more like the temporal space within.
Mm.
Like over table, we can finally let them know that at least the runt was finally dealt with. Maybe either tell them or not let them know about the runt, depending on how discretion would feel like.
Well, again, I don't know if they're going to react anything like, for example, what I could even phantom what people up above would be saying.
You never know.
I can try to explain what went on to it and why it was so difficult for them to defeat.
Or if they
And
don't.
they can adapt their sentries even to it.
Probably. Whatever centuries they might still have left.
This is also true.
Because we also found out that a number of those spaces were excavated, probably from the ones that were taken for the train. So maybe let Arcadia know if her students haven't already gossiped about it. Maybe we tell the elder again what information we got.
Well, the elder's son, if I remember right.
Yep, Ramsey.
That is true if he wants to see us.
I mean, right now, you guys know he's just rebuilding the palace.
I mean, we can always swing by and check to see if he can still talk.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to run over there.
I'm down.
So you guys gonna take a united front for this?
We could do a 50-50 thing where we send some of us here, some of us there.
I mean, it would be is that one. Amy's the one that talks to the king.
Okay.
When it comes to the professor,
Oh, Strider's
I would say-
voicing his opinion. Never split the party!
Yeah,
we could we could be like, hey, we can easily make sure everyone gets this information, but here's the main material, and that way all we have to do is pretty much contact the professor to make sure they get the newer information.
that's true. And since she's helping with Ramsey in the process of building, she could probably inform if she's up for it.
He's probably there right now.
More than likely.
So, two birds with one stone. Tell the professor that way if she wants to inform the natives. That way, at least like trusted sources giving that information.
Yeah,
Again,
especially considering they did let some very shady people through the cracks.
and we probably don't have the best reputation considering the devastation we unfortunately brought. I think the main question is, does any of us have the rune for the professor, or do we just go to her, drop off the info, and then go to the old village?
I would say, with how the temporal field has been since you guys came back this time, when you're opening up your eye stones, it's now beginning to scramble. Initially, it was because it was trying to settle with how you guys are outsiders to this microcosm, but now that it's getting used to you and your equipment, your eye stones won't be able to travel for, like, communique. You'd have to do this by foot or by crook.
Word of mouth is better.
Fair enough.
there is still, like, just to cover our bases for if we want to head topside, we could get the reward for the zombie people from the mayor. So that is an option we could do, since the crew did that.
The crew's still
Informa-
cleaning up the pier section, though, so...
Yeah, by the time we get back, we're not going through a ghost train this time, so we will be back on a proper time frame.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we can collect a possible reward, or at least get a boon of just being like, oh, these people did this. Cool. In this place.
I mean, fair, but...
I would say the ziggurat thing is a bit more important, considering it was a mutated megalodon.
I'm talking about more like after we're done under here.
After the information, yeah.
Okay.
Like after we're done up here and we're topside, since we're probably gonna appear in the city. There are still a few mysteries there. Like, again, it's a living city and everything, but at the very least, the zombie thing is something we can capitalize on. If they will even recognize it as a reward.
Oh, they should.
Main reason is because our DM brought it up to my attention at one point. I'm like, it makes a good point.
Yeah, that's something we can do right after.
Alright.
Okay.
Well...
I'm just trying to help set the time frame of what we're doing.
Which is good. You guys are able to retrace your steps to get back to see Ramsey with Fredolf, the one-eyed gnome, and Professor Arcadia, who are going over the schematics, where now all of the students are doing interviews with the 3 grand priests of the Crown City. The other students are trying to do stuff of examining stuff. The indentured servants are working with no human rights in sight of any accord. So, by the time you guys get back, it's just Arcadia just kind of doing a whole pause motion with the hand to have Ramsey see you guys directly, then just state, "Oh joy, you returned?"
Yep, and Megalodon is defeated.
Fantastic. We shall dine like royals.
But there's something about it that you guys should know for future tech, I think, for your armory. Just to be on the safe side.
He takes a moment to just do a deep breath and then stands stately. Proceed.
Well, it was not. It was immune to electricity. I went full blown, like, storm rage at it, and it was like it was just pinching it, irritating it. I had to fly up in order to get its attention, even though we were told not to fly in the sky around the lake, but we did. It was hyper-focused on me. It was originally from where my kind is from, but it was experimented on. Because megalodons, you can pierce them, I'm going to guess, with your average tools. But this one, we had to use elemental magic in order to get any form of damage. And it was the runt of its litter. If there's any more of them, this would be more on the lines of elemental defeat. You want to destroy the environment maybe around it. Probably have some form of dummy in the sky that looks like my kind.
He just holds up a finger to just halt you for a moment and then just speak in Dwarven to Fredolf, where they have a small conversation before he focuses back on you to drop the finger of, that is enough information that we can proceed from here. Which is why when Arcadia herself was saying you were doing this favor for us, he then goes through his robe to take out a pristine map for you, where when you're unfolding it for the whole party to see, it's actually a secret underground entryway to come back to this very biosphere by even bypassing the time paradox and whatnot, by just traveling underwater beneath Maquette's actual island to get here. Where it's basically, if you guys come back with a Shadowhawk, you now have a direct way to come back through the other side within the ziggurat to get to this area with this map.
Nice.
Ooh.
On that note, the priests have a gift that they are preparing for you for your second visit. They would do it this visit, but with everything being in ruin, and the fact that he's the cause of it, just giving side eye to Volin, where Volin is just kind of snarling a little bit with flames shooting out of his nostrils, because he's literally like he didn't mean for this to happen.
Amethyst is like blocking the view of Volin with her wing.
We were just going to be setting some stuff aside for your next time here. Just trying to give you a pleasant smile for a brief moment before just turning around to go back to the schematics. As Arcadia just comes up while annoying Deez by plopping her hands on top of her head as if she's like a squishmallow. Alright now, kids, this was very nice. Very good at all. I like it. It's very good, very nice. And he didn't die. That's a bonus.
Yep.
Yes.
I almost totally didn't lose my legs.
Nothing bad happened at all.
You almost got eaten.
Shut it! So, Professor, are you guys really gonna be okay with us not being here? Because just leaving a job left undone doesn't sit right with... hush your fucking mouth, we're gonna be fine. When we finish up everything here, they promised to escort us back to the tunnels themselves, and the mayor's gonna make sure that we're well protected. Uh-huh. What is true?
Well, we gotta go talk to the mayor anyways after this. Apparently they were zombies.
Zombies.
Yeah, the port side totally doesn't look like it's covered in a murder scene.
No, it's not that I don't believe, it's just... It's a funny title for them. Zombies.
What are they?
Unfortunately, my time is very limited for conversation. We've got to make sure this palace is done and make sure everyone gets their good courses through so we can get back to school within a reasonable time. So, thank you all once again. Just decides to shake all of your hands. Then just plays the bongos on top of Deez's head. Great seeing you all again. Then decides to dip out while Deez is just trying to fix her hair, just like, why the fuck was this woman messing with me?
I mean, Deez is shorter than her. It makes it funny.
When the small people tower over the other small people.
I will say, Doll is looking at what just happened, and she slowly approaches to do the same thing to Deez.
Careful, like, doll, careful.
Deez is gonna bet until stands away.
Sorry, temptation. It feels weird being the tallest one now, but in a good way.
Yeah, and I can still carry you like you are my child.
Aw. Wait, what?
As in, I can pick you up as if you were my kid.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
You'll get used to it, doll.
Well, you are also like a little sibling, but
I
I'm
just
like
hit.
a mother owl in a sense. Except I don't kick my kids out of the nest.
I'll take it.
So, we're leaving this city behind now, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
before, especially you get fucking,
Stabbed.
eaten by another dinosaur.
Come on. His doll's just kind of like shoving him. Come on.
I can walk myself, doll. As you
Yeah,
guys...
but all you're doing is grunting.
And we're asking you not to make another fire.
Fine. As you guys end up exiting from the quote-unquote life side of the ziggurat to start slowly transitioning to basically the real world, where the rustic side is, where the crown city is just a necropolis. There's forest galore. It's only a small village, a slight bit of ways. And there's a sky crystal just still showcasing that not a lot of time has passed. Where what seemed like potentially maybe hours passed within there, merely a couple of minutes passed for you guys here. And from this whole exiting thing, as you guys are preparing to go to the village, I'm going to preemptively stop the session here, because it'll be even better when Strider is here at the table for this. Because, and I'm going to state this very carefully for a legendary encounter, this is just for the senior members of the Council of 1,000 Names, where you guys actually pushed past it to now just start a small bit, as you're all now level 9, with a small bit of residual EXP left over.
So we're at level 9 now?
You, Bellovac, Deez, Volin, and anyone that's considered a senior member of the council are level 9s.
I just noticed on the sheet, where do I put my level?
It should be right next to Berserker.
You kind of just like make a little note that you're at level 9.
Again, we're going to probably fix it because it's having technical difficulties for you. I know Strider and Fluff will help you because of a bunch of other things.
Yeah, this is definitely not me friendly.
For now, we're working on getting that fixed.
Yeah. I got some like cool ideas for like some of the designs.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it, Strider. The fact that you survived and were about to unlock something intense, I don't want to hear that it's undeserved or unearned.
Your character was still physically there.
You absorbed the excess magic in the guts.
Well, there's actually something that would have triggered for a potential class that would have... Well, is in the midst of saving Volan's life if he can unlock a few more things that would have triggered today if you guys didn't stop the Megalodon now. So, I'm going to save that for another day. But in the meantime, though, thank you guys so much for coming out to see this session, Session 64, Episode 65 of Tidal Roll, where next time that we are here, we're going to be potentially ending things in Old Oltos for the time being, and seeing what new things are on the horizon for the party. Is it going to be a brand new adventure on the forefront? Are they going to make some brand new memories? Is Volan just going to be getting new equipment? Is Dahl planning a big comeback for a lot of stuff? What is going on with Umi? Is Dee's gonna do anything new with these water deities connections? What's Amy gonna be doing with all the stuff cropping up about her life? And so many more things that we're gonna be discussing and diving into the longer we're going with this campaign. But until then, you guys, be good people, make great choices, know that we all care about and adore each and every last one of you, and is the Turn Up Tuesday yet? Have a good one.